It's a pretty monstrous building. It looks like a big kind of it looks like if you were going to build a library out of Gillette blue blades, a kind of a monstrous hard-edged, glassy, steely heap that communicates very poorly with the street. The inside of it is organized so weirdly that, the whole idea that you get from this guy, Rem Koolhaas, is that he's striving tremendously to confound all your expectations for how a building might work or how it might be programmed for its typological use or how it might connect with the rest of the city. They're trying to confound you. And they say that this anarchic idea of trying to disturb the citizen over the building, and trying to upset them or defy their expectations, that's supposed to be kind of a healthy strategy. But I don't find it healthy at all. I think that people need to be oriented and comfortable in their surroundings, and the buildings need to inform them about where they are and who they are and where they're going and what they're doing. For example, in the Seattle Library, he's got some things like staircases that actually get smaller as you go up the stairs, like the psychotic buildings in that German expressionist movie, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Or also the Remington house or whatever, right? That haunted house where the crazy widow just built stairways and doors that didn't lead
Oh,
anywhere.
yeah. Well, that's kind of an oddity in California. Yeah.
The Winchester house.
But his buildings are designed to disturb your and confound your expectations. And, I came to the conclusion that the more they confounded you and defied your expectations about how things would work, the more they would be elevated to the level of supernatural geniuses. Because you couldn't figure them out and you couldn't figure out the buildings that they delivered. So this is all in the service of grandiosity and narcissism and making them appear to be something that they weren't, which was, supernatural wizards. We don't need supernatural wizards. We need competent architects who will give us buildings that are neurologically comprehensible, that satisfy our needs for orientation, and that satisfy our perhaps even deeper needs for cultural orientation, to know who we are, what culture we're in, and what's going on in it.
Did these people even know how to do urbanism though, or are they just bluffing? Like, didn't Frank Lloyd Wright say that he doesn't understand cities, he can't build?
Frank Lloyd Wright didn't like cities.
Yeah.
He had an antipathy to cities, as did Corbusier, the French father of the idea of the tower in a park, which ended up, of course, being the tower amongst the freeways. And he wanted to, Corbu wanted to demolish, half of the right bank of Paris and put up what would have looked like a New York City housing project. Anyway, Koolhaas is in that tradition, and the whole ideology of the modern movement, so-called, has really maintained its mission from the very beginning, which at the early in the early 20th century, their mission became defined partially as confounding the expectations of the bourgeoisie and to stick it to the bourgeoisie. It included this hatred of the successful middle classes and this desire to injure them and confound them, for the sake of becoming separate from the middle class as artists. Of creating a barrier between the heroism of the lone, tortured, artistic soul, as opposed to the sordidness of the bourgeois, acquisitive, money-grubbing, shop owner, who want to buy a painting. So this great sort of cleavage occurred between bohemianism and sort of people who represented success in society. And that has just continued with the programming of the ideology for the last 100 years. And, it's maintained rigorously by the mandarins of the architecture schools.
I'm wondering, my question, I guess, is when cities have the opportunity to create something new, it seems like they either make it a cartoon or some futuristic box that is kind of screaming for attention. And I'm wondering, why is it that people are not interested in building classic buildings that blend in? So if you could help me understand this a little better, I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys.
Jim, have you seen these things in person? I've actually seen these buildings in person.
I've seen and been in the Seattle Public Library designed by Rem Koolhaas.
Yeah.
And, it's not that hard to understand what's going on. The city officials are not that sophisticated. They're probably not stupid, but basically what they're hoodwinked into is a kind of a fashion contest with other cities, a status fashion contest. And the big status symbol for the last 20 years has been, to get a museum or a library designed by one of a certain roster of star architects, or starchitects as they're called. And, it's a revolving door of Frank Gehry, Rem Koolhaas, Peter Eisenman, and a bunch of other people. The results have been disastrous for, practically every place has done this. The case of the Seattle Library is interesting. Yeah, it is a building that is intimidating, and the inside of it is an interesting thing because it completely disorients you. You go up these stairways that are designed to make you feel disoriented and to not really particularly lead to a place that you understand. And the ideology of academic architecture these days is based on the wish to confound our expectations about how buildings will work and about how cities will work and how the buildings will relate to the cities. So, the program with Rem Koolhaas, and he states this explicitly in his own writings, is to confuse the person using the building and create as much anxiety as possible in the users and to mystify them. And the whole object of this whole exercise is to make the architects seem more supernaturally brilliant for having created all this mystification. The more mystification they create, the more it supposedly means that they know things that you don't.
All right, Jim, but what I don't understand is not only have these guys like Koolhaas, conned all the mayors of these cities around the world, but the American Institute of Architects is giving this guy awards. He got an award for this public library, which looks like a droid transport carrier out of a George Lucas